No, it's not the only reason after suspecting you. Your statements regarding Mr. Hicks also turned out to be a bunch of lies. But I say I wasn't in attendance. You wouldn't suspect me then, would you? Yes, I suppose that's true enough. May shall suspect Rhoda too. He's already being detained for further questioning, or have you already forgotten? Oh, yeah, guess I just forgot.
Cammy, don't tell me you suspect me too.
Sorry, can't help it. I mean, other than you, no one else could have done it.
I can't believe you would think that. I mean, me? A killer?
Miss Mew, what did you mean just now by no one else who could have done it? Key card shop. And what are you in charge of, Miss Mew? I take care of the attendance room. That doesn't count. But I spend so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility.
Mr. Edgeworth, Cammy's very talented in languages. So she assists passengers who may not speak English.
Multilingual.
Especially those who speak Virginian. She's the only one on this flight who's fluent.
Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm really good at Virginian. She's fluent in Virginian. And I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Virginian. Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Virginian. Very interesting. Actually, your on-the-job behavior makes you super suspicious in my eyes. But why? When Miss Nooo is busy with the passengers and all her other duties, you have a lot of free time on your hands, thus providing you with ample time to commit the crime.
Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you cease and desist in this line of conjectural questioning. I won't allow you to bluff your way through this like a certain defense lawyer.
Sorry, I've been spending a lot of time with him. I do not honestly believe Miss Meal does any actual work aboard this flight. Oh, that's not true, Mr. Edgeworth. Although, well... I'm in charge of adventure room and some Virginian stuff. So what exactly do you do as the one in charge of some Virginian stuff? I do stuff like translate things from and into Virginian.
Cammy's the only member of the crew who understands Virginian, Mr. Edgeworth.
I know you've told me seconds ago. Miss Meal, I take it that then is your job to process all the Virginian paperwork, as I said seconds ago. Yeah, see, I totally pull my own weight around here. So it would appear. Perhaps I should ask her for a few more details about her work, and... Miss Meal, it's very unladylike to push suspicion onto someone else. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just saying that Miss Rhoda is very sus. There you go, pushing everything onto her again. Why'd you laugh?
Among Us.
To be fair, this is what, like mid-2000s, and sus wasn't that a common slang, I feel, back then.
I can't believe great ace detective Miles Edgeworth to Electric Boogaloo predicted Among Us.
I don't get what you're saying. It must have been a really abstract concept, huh? The only thing abstract here is the landscape inside your head. Okay. So,
let's see the evidence we got.
this is half
Because
the
it has
evidence.
to do with that statement that we just received that she handles the Virginian stuff. So, like, why would that be relevant? Let's go to the other page. What do we got there?
Virginian cloth?
Go down 1 and left 1. What is that? What does it say? It's in Borginian. Can we present this?
Right here?
No, not here. But do you think that that's relevant?
Probably.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That one.
Objection. So you're the only one in this flight crew that speaks Borginian. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Virginia for a while. If that's the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue is located in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Borginian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Aleph Red could not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you! Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. It is exactly as you say. Are you confessing to having What?
Is she blowing bubbles? My
Yeah,
computer's like
she's
lagging.
blowing bubbles, yes. Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation at all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really? All you did was sign it. I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So, sorry about that. Dark Data said, is that what the sleep bubbles have meant to have been this entire time? Possibly. Seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is just a supposition, even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding a smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he was killed by a member of that ring.
Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is a smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there's some element of a setup at play in this case. What are you talking about? Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you, I meant the killer. First it was myself, and now it's Miss Tenero who's under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin the crime at anyone they can. You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up, or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves the killer was out to frame Miss Tenero from the very beginning.
Go to the other page. What do we got? Is it the suitcase? Is it the suitcase?
You think it's a suitcase?
Kylie, the killer, got it from the cargo hold?
Do you think it's a suitcase?
I think it's a suitcase.
Take that! The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. Think it would be, Dark Data? However, why go through the trouble to do so? The only way out of all these actions makes sense. The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. Miss Tenero buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. Humph. There was enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whatever was at hand, adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway? It's because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case, which special circumstance dictated the need for the killer to frame someone. Where the murder took place, when the murder took place, or who the murder took place.
Who the murder took place? What special circumstances dictated the need for the killer to frame someone? Can you rephrase that question in a way that I can understand it a little bit better?
What do you mean?
Like, because I can make an argument for all three of those answers technically being correct, but I don't know what the game is trying to get me to think of.
I mean, she just said that why did the killer need so badly to frame somebody? And he said there were special circumstances.
Is it because it happened in an airplane? So like the amount of people that it could have been, it's like very small. So
where?
If she didn't frame somebody, I would think so, right? Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me. The special circumstance is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure. You know, these games are like sometimes very like eclectic in what they're meant to say.
Yeah, the punishment wasn't big there, though.
Yeah.
No matter what country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chance that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Cammy Meal. Only you and you alone could be the killer. And... Huh?
Excuse me, what?
Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture.
The phone?
This?
That's the only thing we haven't used for anything.
Take that. I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. That's because it went missing, and still is.
Missing? What do you mean by that?
In the complex puzzle that is this case, there's one piece I kept getting stuck on, and that is the victim's cell phone. Francisca, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hick's cell phone. Or at least, that's what you told me.
That's right.
But Agent Hick's cell phone cannot be found at the crime scene.
You mean the killer took the phone with him?
Precisely. I suspect that if they were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experiment, will we? Francisca, I'd like to ask you for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? What?
If my brain worked in any like useful way, I would input the number for the Australian lube mobile company.
133032. We're not sponsored by them.
We're not sponsored by them, but like it's the bit. It's the bit. Maybe not online, but like in our personal friend group. That is the bit.
Well, I mean, if Australian Lube Mobile ever somehow sees the stream, I'd sponsor you, but I don't know why you'd want me because I'm not in Australia. And I don't think any of audiences.
If you want to sponsor our content,
if you want an internationally sponsored, like maybe you want to break out into the US.
You want to break out the lube mobile in the US? Of course I do. It's his phone. It's ringing from somewhere, sir.
I hear it, Detective. Now where is it coming from? Sounds like the phone is up in the flight attendant's room.
I was gonna say, could you hear it? Like, could you hear it in the game? Like, is it like...
You're hearing the same thing I'm hearing.
No, I'm saying like in the original. Like, because the DS is stereo, like, would the sound get like louder or quieter?
So is... computers?
Well, yeah, but I don't know if the emulator is... Oh, sorry. I don't know if the DS capture card that you have installed...
You've already mentioned one of the songs. There was a weird, like, thing that, like, moved behind you in a background noise.
Fair enough. We better go to the flight attendant's room, sir!
Okay, everything gonna say that?
We better move to the flight attendant's room, sir!
Miss Meal, wake up! Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I got sleepy all of a sudden because it sounds like a lullaby I used to love as a child.
Excuse me?
I better on that cell phone fast. What kind of lullaby do you listen to?
I thought I had a messed up childhood. Mr. Edgeworth.
Don't worry, Miss Tenero. I'll get to the bottom of this and find the truth. So please, wait here until I return.
All right. Thank you for everything you're doing, Mr. Edgeworth. It sounds like it's coming from the flight attendant's room.
I agree. Please, don't hang up just yet. Let me find it first.
That's fine, but let's get this... Let's get one thing straight.
Yes?
Don't you dare answer his phone when you find it, understand?
Understand that you don't want to pay for the call.
International.
I'm glad he has no voicemail set up.
Right? The ringing is coming from somewhere in here, sir.
Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. Doesn't seem to be over here. Wonder if it might be inside the suitcase.
I don't hear any sounds coming from inside, sir.
Don't suppose the culprit would have been so dumb as to try the same trick twice. The ringing is coming from somewhere around here.
But it's not here, sir.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about where we're going to find the phone? This is the emergency control panel for the elevator. The switches are currently set to 1F open, which means that right now it's stopped on the first floor with its doors wide open. Doesn't seem to be over here.
Then let's look somewhere else, sir.
Wait, why would it not?
Then let's look somewhere else, sir.
Where else?
Well, I don't know, sir. You tell me.
Does this count different? Oh!
The ringing's coming from here, sir.
What? No, it can't be.
This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir?
It's Miss Tenero's.
What?
Oh god, finally. That ring's gonna be in my head all night.
Ring, 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 ring. Banana phone.
So, Mr. Edgeworth, how did it go? Where did he find the phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room, in Miss Tenero's locker.
What? Rhoda Tenero! I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away. Wait, I have a theory. A game theory. This is related to an incident with the keycard.
Roll credits!
When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, even I know that's like wild conjecture. That's a bit reach. It's a bit reachy.
This is unrelated to the keycard, alright? In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is the one bird we cannot ignore.
What should I do? Francisco's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright then, why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have something very incriminating on or in it.
Hold it!
What now, Mars Edgeworth?
It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone.
What?
Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer.
Oh, those are like my favorite kind of donuts, sir.
We need to examine this phone in more detail.
Oh. Is it the fact that it has a camera?
It's a camera lens. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of a smuggling? Francisca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures?
Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know anything about this kind of basic stuff, sir.
This cell phone that has a camera on it, can it take pictures?
Bad.
In 2018, does this phone take pictures?
My phone is exclusively a rotary. I don't know how touchpads work.
I feel like at this point, rotaries probably take pictures.
Yeah. This looks very similar to. This looks like a very similar model to my own, and mine can take photos just fine.
Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures of this? In particular, pictures as evidence for a smuggling case. If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for a killer smuggler.
But the phone's all busted up, sir.
Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. Dick, I'll find a way, don't you worry about that. Yeah, I go back to sleep now.
Objection!
The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data.
What? What do you mean by that, Francisca?
Just remove the SD card and put it in a computer. If it's a phone that doesn't have an SD card, the data is still on the
SIM card?
the hard.
Oh.
It's in there. You can just plug it into a supplementary device to extract it. It's not. They're police. Well, they're attorneys. Looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. His phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. Possible that the photos are still in there, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone.
Francisca, your phone, if you please.
Very well. Oh, it's transferring. Alright, display it now.
This is...
Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case.
Hey, the olive red's nowhere in this picture.
This has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right?
Ouch. She's right. There's not much we can find out from this about Agent Hicks's killer, sir.
Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo that we can use?
I mean, all the suitcases are there. Is that enough? I don't think so.
The fact that all the suitcases are here in this photo is odd. What?
Agent Hicks was still alive at the time. So what exactly so odd about suitcases haven't been used yet being here?
Yes, well, I was the only pointing out things that are different between then and now. Or now and then. Now and later.
You're off top of ramblings and put this attendant to sleep yet again, Master Ashworth.
I could sleepy out here, a rude awakening. A deafening objection and a contradiction.
So the boxes on the right aren't tarped? Like that doesn't...
What's all this?
Huh? Oh! They are cargo ships from Virginia to Geneva.
So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Shengfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me about the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there's no English written on them anywhere.
One cluster of boxes is written in Virginian. It says... What does it say? I don't understand, but it is cloth in English.
You don't understand what?
Virginian.
Was that like a bit or?
Yeah.
Cloth? Could it be... Is this where the killer...
What for is that scary face?
Miss Meal. Yes? It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is. Ha! Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. The Virginian cargo in this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer.
The Virginian cargo. Can I see the corpse?
Corpse?
What? Why? I don't know, maybe. Okay. Love you, bye. No, it's not this picture. Okay, go back. Is it the cloth again? That'd be weird.
What it?
I mean, you could use it. We're full health.
Take that!
And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilled. If there's one thing that bothered me this whole time, where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
Now, I finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Genfa had cloth written on it. In Borgenian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Borgenian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Cammy Meal.
You don't think people could just open boxes until they find something to mop up blood with?
I mean, that's
mean, that
risky
is
the
pretty
longer you
flimsy.
spend. Ha! That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Virginian.
That's my argument.
Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature.
I mean, that kind of checks out.
What?
What?
There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all because they knew Virginian. Just
I
imagine.
mean, that seems kind of like a circular arc, sir. It sounds like really close to a logical fallacy.
And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Virginian, well then... Logically, the killer would have opened this box first.
Oh, the ones that say bed sheets.
What if they didn't speak Virginian or English?
Yeah.
Hey, it says bed sheets in English right on the sir.
Precisely, and bed sheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I don't know, man. Okay, have you ever tried taking blood out of bed sheet? Takes forever.
What are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bed sheets would have been what I have spotted first.
However, the killer chose to use some Virginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that?
The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold, so they were afraid to leave signs of the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Virginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color, mainly yellow and purple.
I would say it's more like a fuchsia color, sir.
Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Genfa.
That's right. That is why the Virginian cloth is used. And the only Virginian reader on board who can make such a calculated decision is you,
Well, it's
Cammy
me.
Meal. You and you
Hey,
alone.
Cammy.
It'd be very
That was
easy.
big neutral B peach mode over there.
It'd be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zhengfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. Grr. So what do you say, Miss Meal? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zhengfa? Oh, no!
Sir, she's using bubble beam. You got a quad weakness to that, sir.
Sounds like she hit herself in her confusion. He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. I
Very nice.
Aw, poor Cammy Meal. She was just scared.
We finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir.
Very good, detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that?
They're taking it down to the precinct now. Hopefully, we can get more out of her there. Whenever we approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir.
She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. Looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye.
Mr. Edgeworth! I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much.
It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation.
But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant.
A professional flight attendant.
Oh, you remembered! I hope that... Well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation.
That's...
I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it.
No. I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at iFly Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth.
It'd be very in line with the series if that's the next murder weapon in that suitcase.
Yeah. Well, was he using that suitcase in the very first case?
Was he?
Because he came into the murders with the suitcase.
Maybe. Thank you.
Right?
I'll keep
Somebody
that in
check
mind.
the VODs.
Now, I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue, no matter where you go.
I like that. Can I sign off like that from now on?
I can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy, was it fun!
Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges.
Oh my!
By the way, where's Francisca? Also, that's the sequel to Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, is earthquakes, elevators, and false charges.
It's also the title of a Fall Out Boy song.
I mean, the
Or
whole
no, or
sentence
is it
I
Panic
said
at the
just
Disco?
now. The whole sentence I just said now was the title.
Yeah. I forget which one of the two makes it so terrible.
Both, but Fall Out Boys are like 2 sentences long, so...
Yeah. Panic at the Disco is like nails for breakfast, tax for snacks, or something.
And then it has nothing
Was
to
that
do with
Fall Out
that,
Boy?
though. Like they follow the same energy of a title of a song that doesn't have to do with the song, but they make it just like song title length.
Yeah.
Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her.
Departure.
Yeah, Miss Von Karma always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case.
Detective. Can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier?
You got it, sir. They're gonna charge me for the Uber, man.
And take it out of your paycheck.
If you say so. I guess it's one less cup noodle for you, dick gumshoe.
Francisca.
I thought I told you when you first landed. No time for idle chatter.
I have no intention of wasting your time, however, it has been a while since we last met.
I also have no time for such familiar reminiscences. Just who do you think I am?
You are Francisca Von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect.
Until nearly a while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who's always losing to you. A dancing Pierrot living our life. Built.
True, your father, Manfred Von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. I mean, he was kind of cheating, but... However, I wouldn't say he was invincible.
Huh? Now, what are you talking about?
I mean, he's dead. By definition, he's not invincible.
The group I'm on the trail is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only a sliver of the big picture.
Sounds like a dangerous assignment.
You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself.
Unfortunately, Dark Data, we probably won't find out how it ties into the famous thief until, like, in a couple months when we return to this.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose you can.
I don't know if Have we explained what's going on?
Yeah, I've said on stream that they're
Okay,
going to be
yeah.
away for a couple months. So.
Yeah, I'll be going on hiatus. Don't dox me.
Plus, there's another agent on this case with me.
What do you mean shady case to the finish? We are almost finished with this case.
Shit, I think they mean case to the finish. The rest of.
Also, welcome, Shady. I work tomorrow, so I can't case to the finish because that would cut into, like, we'd be still streaming when I have to leave to work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know how, but like, we'd be playing until at least tomorrow morning.
Oh, like, way longer, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'd have to literally 0 bits, like not even reading the lines anymore.
Oh, another agent.
He was a star, or he's a star among Interpol agents. Has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows? We may even run into him one day.
We're simply caught up in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths.
I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same.
Not following you.
You may know his name. Phoenix, right?
Interpol agent.
It's like, hey Edgeworth, what's going on?
Why do you give him
Meanwhile-
Sonic the Hedgehog voice?
It's been a while. I'm now in Interpol.
One!
Tails, I mean, Maya. Maya just comes down, flying in her hair.
Oh, I don't know, maybe there's a connection last time to this Dark Data.
You'll understand soon enough. But the fight has only just begun, Mouse Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back in full.
Do you owe her for lunch or something? Just like that, she's gone, huh, sir?
Oh, like this like jazz remix of the song. This is the police precinct music, I think, from Ace Attorney, but this is like a jazzy remix.
I mean, I dig it.
Thank goodness, I can finally rest knowing easy. I can finally rest knowing easy. I can finally rest easy, knowing I won't have to watch out for a whip.
Now you have to watch out for mine. Pulls out whip.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation.
I'll go get ready. It was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. I think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight.
Can you afford that, the salt?
Oh, I definitely cannot. But, I'll just have like 3 more instant noodles without salt and pounds.
Just how much did he cut his salary by, Franziska? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office.
Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car.
Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus, I solved my first case upon my arrival home. Franziska von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war. They would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Wait, why'd I take the Interpol's phone? Oh no! Edgeworth speaking. Sure, who knows?
Ah, finally! I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through.
And you are?
I'm Sonic.
No, who is this? Is this the big prosecutor from the very first case in the very first game that like dies?
This is after the first game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who is this?
I don't know who this is.
Who says my boy?
I don't know. Kind of reminds me of the guy whose hemorrhoids did the Harlem Shake, but I don't know.
The hemorrhoids did the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, it's he said in one of the cases. Grossberg. Kind of reminds me of Grossberg, but I don't remember if Grossberg is in this.
I don't even remember who Grossberg is.
Big guy, mustache.
No,
He was Mia Fey's mentor.
I do not. That's what I'm saying. I thought. Yeah, we're talking about the same person.
Maybe.
I thought he died.
He never died.
Oh.
Mia Fey died.
Oh, have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy?
Mr. Amano. Ernest Amano, correct?
Ernest Amano.
I don't think we know this person.
Ah, so you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped.
Dark Data said CDI Zelda King, says my boy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I could eat an Octorok.
That's
The end.
That's the extent of my CDI.
The extent of mine
Well,
is...
excuse
Wait, no, that's
me,
not
my
CDI Zelda.
Oh, it's a not?
That's the animated show.
Oh, sorry. Shalala! That's CDI.
I think I Can Eat Octorok is also the show, but I'm not sure.
No, I think I'm so hungry.
I'm so hungry, I can eat an Octorok.
That's
I
from
don't-
CDI.
I don't know. The extent of my CDI knowledge is I'm melting. Good. But that's because I use that GIF all the time.
No, I love the idea of the CDI Zeldas, but I haven't played any of them.
I don't know. It might be something
Any of the two of them.
I solo stream some point in my life, but if I did, it would be the like fan remake one that's like better.